I do what I want, I say what I want, I wear what I want. I'm walking away, you know I don't mind, I chill by myself, you know I'm flying high, I'm way up in the sky, don't even have to try, 'cause I can see everything.
Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to bleach dye clothes. The first thing you need is bleach. I've seen people do this with toilet bowl cleaner, but the results are inconsistent and they cost about the same anyway, so we're just going to use bleach. Next is peroxide and a spray bottle. We're going to use these to make peroxide water, 1 part peroxide to 1 part water. That'll neutralize the effects of bleach, so if you really like the way that your shirt's coming out and you want to stop it, or you get some on your clothes, you can just stop the chemical process that way. And rubber bands, hair elastics, yarn, whatever you have, we just need something that we can secure the shirts with. And gloves, super important because we are not going to ruin the first layer of our skin today. Now we're going to be drawing on one of the shirts, so we're going to put a piece of cardboard in between the shirt, that way none of the bleach leaks from the front to the back. And we're going to use a little squirt bottle like this to draw on the shirt. We're just going to fill this with straight bleach. If you've done tie-dye projects before, you might have these lying around. If not, you can just get them at the dollar store. Lastly, we need a shirt that we don't mind getting bleach on. I know what you're thinking, but Michaela, that's not the Bleach album. I know, I'm a failure, but I'm the failure that's teaching you how to bleach dye clothing. While you think about that, let's get started. Alright guys, so first you want to make sure that you have a area where you can be working with bleach. Luckily in my basement we have concrete floors. As you can see, I've already done some tie-dye projects down here. If you don't have a space like this, you can just put down a plastic bag and work there, or maybe if you have like a plastic tub that you could do this in. So for the spiral design, where you can pinch in the middle and twist the shirt, but I'm going to use a fork. I'm sorry I didn't put that in the required materials. I assumed that most people would have a fork at home though. So as you spin the shirt around, you just want to guide the edges, make sure that it doesn't get like too bunched or wrinkled in one spot. And now you want to start adding the rubber bands. You can use as many as you want, but for this we're just going to be creating like 6 equal sections to bleach dye. And you just want to slowly like edge the rubber bands underneath the shirt. And now we can start bleaching. So you want to bleach every other triangle. You can start to see the process already working. And any loose ends you can tuck back under the rubber bands as you move along. You can just flip over and just make sure that you're bleaching the same triangles as you were on the front. And it doesn't matter if the bleach like spills over into the triangle next to it. A huge part about bleach dyeing or any tie dyeing in general is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because the imperfection about it is what makes it interesting and different and something that someone else doesn't have. So here you can see a quick time lapse of the bleach dyeing process. So next we're going to do this sweatshirt as a crumple dye. We're going to start by just pinching the midsection of the hoodie and bringing all the other parts of the hoodie into that midpoint by just like crumpling it with our hands. This will give kind of more of a random pattern to what we're doing. And then just bring the elastic over it, and then the elastic will break. So then you're going to have to go get bigger elastics. Hoodies are a lot harder just because they're heavier and there's a lot more fabric to cover. I honestly use maybe 1/3 of a bottle of bleach just on this hoodie alone. Now that you've acquired new elastics, you can go ahead and crumple that hoodie all up again. And start wrapping. For this, it's not like the other shirt. The amount of elastics you're using isn't really going to matter because we're just covering the whole article of clothing anyway. This is more so just to make sure that it's secure.
And then you can just start pouring the bleach on. I like to squish it in just so it can kind of soak into the fabric. And then I go in with the squirt bottle around the edges just because it's a lot harder to get accuracy with just the bottle of bleach itself. You can already see that the hoodie's starting to change. Hoodies are kind of hard too because they're such like a dark black color and like the material's a lot thicker, so it's hard to really know what it's going to look like until it's like out of the dryer. So while this shirt is bleaching, I'm going to show you guys how to draw with bleach. So as you can see, I've already had to use that good old peroxide water twice on my jeans and on the shirt because I got some bleach on them. So definitely good to keep on hand. So we're just going to go in and just start drawing on the shirt itself. I find it kind of easier if you hold the bottle really close to the shirt so you don't get a lot of like backsplash. You can honestly just like freehand with this too. I think that what makes a lot of these shirts really cool is the fact that they look homemade. They have like this kind of like edge to them. And so we're not really going for perfection here. We're just going for something that looks cool.
Let's go.
You can see the bleach is actually bubbling up there as it hits the peroxide water. And now it's time to rinse out the shirts. This is my favorite part because it's kind of like the big reveal and you get to see what the shirt actually looks like, kind of. I'm super proud of how this one came out. If you guys aren't from around here, Newport is a beach town, so I was kind of surprised the shirt didn't come as a tie-dye already, but it's okay because I can do it myself. When you're rinsing them, you want to make sure that you rinse until the water runs clear. That way you're not getting any of that excess like dye in your washer and dryer and it doesn't spill out to anything else you're washing. You can see a lot of that like coming out here with this hoodie. This hoodie honestly was so much work, but I promise it comes out very cool. This one honestly didn't have a lot of dye runoff, which makes sense because it wasn't really covered the same way the other ones were, but it's still important to rinse out just in case. So now I'll show you guys the final products. I really love how this shirt came out. The rib cage looks awesome. It has these really nice like halftone colors as well. A lot of people who have seen it have actually thought it was like a screen print and are like really excited by it, so that makes me really happy. I really like how this Newport shirt came out. I think that spiral dyes add like a nice summery feeling to anything, so I'm super happy I could turn this plain shirt into something a little more interesting. And next is the hoodie. I love how this hoodie came out. I wasn't really a fan of it at first, and then my boyfriend asked me if he could have it. I like how crumple dyeing creates like really cool and random patterns on articles of clothing, and how the tones of bleaching can be different too. It's just so hard to tell while you're bleaching, but I promise, they always come out really cool. Well, I hope you guys like bleach dyeing with me today. If you want to see more of my work, check out my website, MichaelaMckay.com.